This will sound very strange, but on July 8th, a U.S. Navy fighter jet was blown off of the deck of the aircraft carrier Harry S. Truman. Harry S. Truman was the only world leader to ever use a nuclear weapon in an act of war, and the loss of this fighter jet due to strong winds and heavy rains is a prophecy from God that is predicting that a dirty bomb will explode in Manhattan in New York City on December 2nd, 2023, and there will be a massive evacuation of Manhattan Island. It is also likely that the official narrative in the mainstream media that will emerge regarding this event will somehow be a lie. The date that this video is posted proves that this prediction was made ahead of time, as does this timestamped email and forensic notes PDF. If you are skeptical, please email me and I will forward these to you. Although it has been known since early 2021 that a dirty bomb would explode in Manhattan in the near future, as you can see in this email, this prediction for a dirty bomb explosion in Manhattan on December 2nd was known since at least September 29th. There are also many other videos on this channel that make this prediction that were posted many days before this video was posted. This video was produced prior to April 13th, 2023. If you want to understand and appreciate how the prediction that a dirty bomb will explode in Manhattan, New York City on December 2nd, 2023 is known ahead of time, it is imperative that we learn about the numerous prophetic signs that occurred on April 13th, 2023. April 13th was the climactic penultimate date in the trail of signs that is leading to the predicted date for the dirty bomb explosion and mass evacuation from Manhattan Island on December 2nd, 2023. And to understand April 13th, 2023, it is imperative that we learn about and understand the trails of prophetic signs that God used to point to April 13th. Through each of these trails of prophetic signs that God used to point to April 13th ahead of time, God told a unique, amazing, and important story that everyone needs to know. This video you are watching will explain one of these stories and their related prophetic signs that God was using to point to April 13th and ultimately December 2nd, and the predicted dirty bomb and evacuation in Manhattan. The prophetic signs on April 13th in turn pointed to May 4th. May 4th, or the date 5-4, as we now know, hints at the 54th Massachusetts Infantry Regiment, the first black regiment in the Civil War, and the reason God has used this theme is because it conveys the theme of slavery and freedom, which is the overarching theme of the Bible and of this life, and the current end times spiritual battle, the battle to end all battles, that we are all involved in right now. This is why, for example, on April 13th, the S&P 500 stock index gained 54 points, and the prophetic hockey game involving the team from Massachusetts had a final score of 5-4, which hinted at the 54th Massachusetts Regiment. This is also why, on April 13th, the 21-year-old document leaker was arrested in Massachusetts 21 days before the date 5-4, which hints at 54. In turn, the date 5-4 is 212 days to the date 12-2, December 2nd, and 12-2 hints at 212. This is because the area code of Manhattan, New York City is 212. Arguably, the most important video on this channel, at least in regards to the prediction of the dirty bomb in Manhattan, is the 54th Massachusetts Regiment video. Once the prediction comes to pass, you should know that all of the videos on this channel should be watched. However, there are a few top videos, such as the 54th Massachusetts Regiment video, the East Palestine video, the Obama Returns to the White House video, the 3 Mile Island accident video, and the Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory video. As you watch this video that you are currently watching, keep in mind that it was produced prior to April 13th, when it was believed that it would be the date of the predicted dirty bomb in Manhattan. However, like I said, April 13th turned out to be the penultimate date in the trail of signs that led to May 4th and is leading to December 2nd. On July 8th, 2022, a Navy fighter jet, an FA-18E Super Hornet jet, blew off of the deck of the aircraft carrier USS Harry S. Truman and into the Mediterranean Sea. The USS Harry S. Truman is symbolism for nuclear weapons. Harry Truman was the only president and the only ever world leader to ever have used a nuclear weapon in an act of war. This jet fighter flew off of the deck of the aircraft carrier due to strong winds and heavy rains, exactly 40 weeks before it is predicted that a dirty nuclear weapon bomb will explode in Manhattan on April 13, 2023. When asked by his disciples for the signs of his return, Jesus replied with the metaphor of birth pains. According to the medical profession, the average human gestation period is 40 weeks, and hence 40 weeks connections in God's big picture of signs symbolize the end times period. This is the reason for this 40 weeks connection between this USS Harry S. Truman, and Truman symbolizes nuclear weapons, and the date it is predicted that a dirty nuclear bomb will explode in Manhattan and cause a mass evacuation from Manhattan Island. This jet was an FA-18 Super Hornet. The number 18 hints at 6 plus 6 plus 6, which in Bible prophecy is the number of the Antichrist. The FA in the FA-18 Super Hornet hints at the sixth letter in the alphabet, which is the letter F, and the first letter in the alphabet, which is the letter A, to give us 6-1, which hints at 61, which is the 18th prime number, which again hints at 6 plus 6 plus 6, the number of the Antichrist. This is why the Antichrist was born in 1961 and is currently 61 years old. This strong winds and heavy rains that blew this fighter jet off of the deck of the aircraft carrier on July 8, 2022 was exactly 36 months, which is 3 years, after the epic flooding in Washington, D.C., where the Antichrist will rule as the president in the White House. The reason why this 36 months, or also 3 years, connection is extremely prophetic is because the number 36 hints at the number 666, as 36 is 6 times 6, which is 2 times 18, which is also 6 plus 6 plus 6. And also the 36th triangular number, which in a triangle of numbers, the last number in the 36th row is 666. And 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 all the way up to 36 equals 666. And so this is why this 36 months connection in between this epic flooding in Washington, D.C., and the news reported that a section of the Pentagon flooded, and also the basement of the White House, where the press corps has their offices, which was a major judgment condemnation by God of the mainstream lying, wicked leftist media, to the day of this U.S. Navy fighter jet that was blown off of the deck of the USS Harry Truman due to strong winds and heavy rains, which in turn is exactly 40 weeks to the date it is predicted that a dirty bomb will explode in Manhattan. This 36 months connection is also exactly 3 years because God postponed the judgment destruction on the nation of Israel for 3 years after King Ahab repented, and exactly 3 years to the minute after Bill Clinton repented live on television with a pastor was the exact minute that the last building collapsed on 9/11. This jet was a super hornet jet, and hornets are insects that sting. And in the Bible, in the book of Revelation, in the end times period, the locusts that sting and sting like scorpions, and the tails of the horses that are like serpents' heads that wound, is symbolism for the thing, the mark of the Antichrist, that functions like a stinger, if you will. Stingers put poison into people, which is what the mark of the Antichrist is. And the purpose of this prediction that is from God is to prove what I have just said. That is the purpose for this prediction, make no mistake. There would be no reason for this prediction that is from God if it weren't for the purpose of proving what I had just said. The locusts that sting are described in the fifth trumpet judgment, which is the reason for the letter E in this fighter jet, this FA-18E Super Hornet fighter jet, because E is the fifth letter in the alphabet. As I explained, this video was originally produced before April 13th, and the analysis leading up to April 13th that was explained in this video is 100% correct. As I mentioned, it was a step in the trail of signs leading to the predicted date that the dirty bomb will explode in Manhattan, which will be September 25th, 2023. This date here, that the F-18 fighter jet fell into the Mediterranean, is actually part of another prophetic sign, which was the accidental drop of a nuclear bomb into the Mediterranean in sometime, I think, in the 1950s. I forget exactly, or the 60s, but I will make a video explaining that. This is actually pointing to this. It is amazing. So there's much more to the story, as is usually the case with God's signs. It's just infinite. But this is part of another sign. And anyway, I want to add here one more thing, is that the date that this F-18 fell into the Mediterranean on July 8th, 2022, is exactly 444 days to the date it is predicted that the dirty bomb will explode in Manhattan, which will be part of how the Antichrist becomes the president again, the 44th president. And so from the day that the fighter jet fell off of the USS Truman, we have a 40 weeks connection exactly, which is very prophetic. And we also have 444 days. So in other words, these two connections confirm each other, in fact. 40 days hints at 444. They're both hinting at the 44th president. Also, the name of the aircraft carrier is Harry Truman, and the name Harry means ruler. And this is another hint at the ruler Antichrist described in Bible prophecy. This 444 days connection from the Harry S. Truman carrier sign is a hint that the ruler Antichrist is the 44th president. This very important video explains part of God's big picture of prophetic signs, patterns, and connections, and an important story God told that pointed to September 25th, 2023, regarding the prediction for an explosion of a dirty bomb or suitcase nuke in Manhattan, New York City, and mass evacuation from Manhattan Island on December 2nd, 2023. September 25th ended up being the penultimate step in the trail of signs leading to December 2nd. For a full explanation of the very important prophetic signs that occurred on September 25th, including the 67th Annual International Atomic Energy Agency Conference that revealed adding 67 days to September 25th to reach December 2nd, the predicted date for the dirty bomb or suitcase nuke explosion in Manhattan, watch the amazing video titled Bomb in New York City on 12/2, December 2nd, equals 343 firefighters lost on 9/11 prophecy. Aliens and UFOs are demons masquerading as aliens and UFOs. Most people's spiritual experiences are demonic deception, especially if they are not a true follower of Christ. God became a man and died a horrible death at the hand of the ruler of this world, Satan, and then defeated death for you, so that you too can overcome death, which is the price that must be paid for sin. It is time to repent, which means to change one's ways and turn to God and become a disciple of Jesus. Please leave a like and upvote the video, and once this prediction has come to pass, share this video with everyone you know, and more, don't stop sharing it everywhere in social media. It is essential that everyone immediately read the homepage of my website, TrumpPrediction.com. If you are watching this on the YouTube platform, please note that not all of the videos are on YouTube. You need to switch to the BitChute.com or the Odyssey.com channel. And do it now in case you aren't able to later.